Hi, it's Mark from CQ. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a full end-to-end workflow of how architects use CQ to manage their entire business, from the first inquiry through to the project delivery. We'll start where every project begins, and that's in the leads, and then afterwards I'll take you through project management and more. And by the end, you'll see how CQ brings everything into one place so you can stay organized, reduce admin, and run your studio more effective. So let's just jump in. So everything starts from a lead, and you've got a list of all your leads here. When you need to add a new lead, you come in, you can use from an existing client or just create a new client. And as you come in here, you can see all the different fields that you want. And then here you've got your categories, so you can select a category that matches. And then you've got your statuses. So for us, the status is something that's very important because this is your sales funnel, and this is how you'll track your leads through the system and through the different areas of your funnel. So you'd select whatever it is that you want, and then here you've got your extra fields. So anything that you want to store on your leads that isn't here, you can have that. You can create these bespoke and then write that out. So where did they find you, etc. Write this, and then you can have as many of these as you want, and then when you're happy, you save the lead. So I'll just close this and open a lead. When you open a lead, you've got all of the basic information that you've just added. You can change the statuses as and when you choose. And I didn't mention, you create these statuses as you want. So you add labels, same as the categories, edit them, choose the colors for them, etc. Then when you come down here, you've got your action logs and your emails. So within the system, you're going to connect your email to the system. So it doesn't matter where your email comes from. You can build your signatures. You can have templates. So if you know that you send out the same email over and over, you can send that out, or you can just write that out bespoke, whichever you choose. This red circle means that they haven't read it yet. Once they have read it, it will turn green, and then this number here will start changing 1, 2, 3 times to show you how many times they've actually read your email. And when they reply, that will come in here. Also, this pushes through to the action logs, and this allows you to store everything that you've done within this lead. So when you come on here, you had a meeting, you'd come on, write your meeting notes, write what the description is, whether you need to add anyone else into this, or if it's for yourself to follow up with them. You can come in here, make a follow-up call, see what they decided, and then here you just move across, choose to next Wednesday, choose a time, change the time here. The time will always start from the time that you're on now, and then you write what the title is and what the description is, and then the system will then remind you that that's what you need to do. So on that date and time, it will buzz up in the top right hand corner in blue, and then anytime you can see all of the action logs that have been taken with this lead, and anyone else, you'll see who's done what, and anyone else can always see that. I'll show you the estimation last, but here you've got your notes, you've got calendar appointments. If you're going to book meetings, you can see, schedule those meetings, and I'll go into more detail with that afterwards. You've got your tasks, so anything that you need to do, reminders, you can add files to the lead, and sheets and documents. So within the system, you can create bespoke sheets, bespoke documents. So some people like to have a sheet for a lead that says, have we done this, have we done that, checklist for each thing, who did each part before they turn something to a job. And then inside the system, you've got your estimation. So here you either send an estimate or send a quote. So if I just create a quote, so once we save this, this will direct us to the estimation area. So here I can come in, add an item. So I've got my library, I've got my different items that I've got here. So I can choose planning drawings, I can choose building regs, drawings, etc. Anything that I want. And then I can just title that, so new quote, and I can write up a full description in here, so if I wanted that, and then I'll push this through. So once I've created that, I've got my items here. Now these will show you your normal price. If the price has changed and you've updated your price, you can change that here. And when you set the system up, the idea is that you'll put your profit margins for labor, for products, and different products can go into different markups depending how you like to do that. So if you came here and thought, right, well, on this job we're going to do more than that, you can just come change that, and then you'll see the prices updated. and then here at the top you can see what your profit margin is. And the idea of the system is once you win this and you turn this to a job, you want to be able to track whether you've made that right profit on the job itself. So once you're happy with that, you can send out this. So you can send it either open that shows everything, or you could just have a specific product here. So inside the new quote, you'd have this as a planning drawings, and then have what items you're going to do for that. And then you've got the building regs, and then you've got the items that you're going to do for that. And you can do that in any way. When you come to email a quote, when you preview that, you can build your branding inside of the system. So you've got your cover page, you've got what your actual quote is, and then you've got any terms of service, payment terms, closing branding, anything that you want. And again, these are templates, so you create that so it pulls through to every job. But if you need to edit this individually for this job, you can just come on here, edit, make what changes, and then send that through, and that will not change your template. Once you've done all of that and you come back into the leads, so once you've won the lead, when you click turn to job, that will connect to Xero, Sage, QuickBooks. So it will track your accounting software, and it will then create the customer on there itself, and then you can manage it in the jobs. But before I go to that, I'm just going to show you the opportunities boards. So you can create these boards. These boards are built off of your sales funnel, so off the statuses that you created. So here we've got a new inquiry, we've got requests for information, and you can have lots of different people in these different funnels. So here you can track how many people are in each stage, what's the value of it. So of course at the start you won't know the value, but then you'll know the value. And you'll also, these will order by how you reschedule. So if you put something for today to reschedule, that will come to the top of the list. So this way you can see your sales funnel straight away. And then once you come into the jobs, you've got all of your jobs listed out. When something comes through, the status will be unscheduled, and then you can create your different statuses, create your different categories. And then how you manage your jobs, once we open that up, you've got your basic information of the client, you've got any notes that you wanted to store, you've got files, and you can create your folders, so you can have a structured, organized folders here of everything. So your CAD files, your existing plans, your site surveys, and as much as different folders as you want. So once you come down here, you've got your calendars, so you can create all your different calendar appointments for and this is specific to the job. There is somewhere else that has all of your calendars across all your jobs and different things. When you add an event, you can assign it to a specific person. You can choose the categories, and you again build these categories yourself. So if it's a meeting, you can come on here. So if we did a meeting, say for today at 10 o'clock, let's call it 10:30 to 11:30. And that's for today. So I set that. So I can have a recurring appointments if I know that I'm going to have 2-3 meetings with someone per week over a few weeks. I can then create this, put this to a week, change this to 3, so that will be for 3 weeks. But for the purpose of this, I won't bother. You can have here, check your availability, so the system knows your calendars. You can open up, see that you've got a clash here, and then open up that and see, so that you can drag and drop and move different things around to make sure that you can iron that out for yourself. You have got schedules, so if you've got anyone that needs to go on site, do a site survey, site meeting, etc., you can schedule those appointments, and that will come up in the schedules for people to see. And then you've got your billing documents and any invoices that you sent from this. When you do send your invoices, again, that will connect to your accounting software and push that through to your accounting software, so you don't need to do that there. And then here we've got tasks. So you've got just a list of tasks here, or you've got your board view, so you can see what's pending, what's in progress, what's under inspection, what's done here. And then you've got your group tasks. So in here, you can create boards. So depending on the different things that you've got to do, you create your boards, add your different samples. You can drag and drop. So if this becomes more important than that, you can drag that. If you want to see a different board, you can drag your board up, pull that up to here, etc. So this way you've really got an organized, neat way of viewing everything that needs to be done on that. And you can have templates. So if you know that for every time you do a set type of drawings, you're going to use these tasks, then you can create those as a template and just pull them all across. You've got your communications on here. So this is your emails again. So once you're actually managing the job, you're now going to communicate through the job. So all of your emails will be stored here. All of their emails will come into here. You've got your action logs. So again, anything that gets updated, had a meeting for the actual job itself, you come in here and add all of those different details. So you've got a log of everything that's happened. In the paper section, you can create bespoke documents and bespoke sheets in the system. So depending on what you need, you can create as complex and detailed information as you want. You can have different worksheets. So for this, we created a bug report in our system. So you can have these different things and you build these all bespoke. So you can have anything that you want. You can also have signature boxes at the end if you want people to sign them. And then lastly, you've got contracts here. So rather than using DocuSign or PandaDocs or Adobe documents, you can create a full contract in here. And then if you want obviously yourself to sign it, you want the client to sign it, they'll receive this online, they can sign this online, and that will be a legally binding document here. And then all of these are emailable through in the communications area as well. And then here you're going to break down your job into different sections. So you can create your Gantt chart. You can see and update what's been done. So this is the red line is today's date. You can see whether you're on target, whether you've gone behind, whether something is a dependency, so you can't start this until that's finished, etc. And you can really break down your project into different sections and track along and see where you are. Additionally, on this side of things, you can drag and drop, move this across so you can see the dates, durations, the percentage done, dependencies, who each different stage is assigned to, if you'd like that type of stuff as well. And then inside the finance section, so when you send your invoices out, the system will tally them all up here. So you can see that we've got £6,763 on this. You've got 2,788 is the predicted profit. So that's generated when you create the quote. And then at the moment we're plus £783 because we've spent 1,454 and we've had in 2,237. So this bases here on your payments. So from the accounting software, once you've sent your invoice out, the accounting software connects to your bank account. Once that's paid, that will ping back into the system. So you'll show here the date, how much was paid and what's the balance remaining on that, and vice versa. That will break it down into different payments. If you did have any outsourcing stuff, you can add that here. But then here you've got all of your labor costs, so how much you've spent for staff wise, and that's based from people coming in, clocking in for the day, timing in on this specific project. So if someone timed in here, they're being paid £20 an hour, and they've spent 4 hours here, the system will know that you've spent £80 on this job. So this will tally up all of that kind of stuff, and then you'll be able to see in the hours here what working hours anyone spent on there throughout the different days, etc. And then you'll be able to see all of that kind of transparency around the job. So coming from here, you've got your schedules, you've got your full calendars, you've got full tasks. So this is everything that is done on the system. So for all different jobs, and here you can come on, you can filter different people. So we've got main user, high priority tasks, or medium priority, low priority. You can see, and then it will just schedule and change depending on what you want to see and update on here. You have got schedules, so if you know that people are doing different things, you've got week views of their schedules. So if people are anywhere, if you've got meetings, you can drag and drop, you can move these around and edit them as you go. You've got inside of the contacts, how you manage your own staff. So you've got all your staff, everything's based on access control, so what they can and can't see. I'm going to open one of these up. So inside here, you've got all the different information on them. So if I edit this, here I can see their basic information, but then here I can see in the attributes whether they've got review meetings, when it was last completed, the interval, and how many days before I want a reminder. The same for any training or anything that you need to store specific for them, you can add that here. If they've got any licenses, what jobs they're working on, what clients they've got, what tasks they've got, any files you need to store in them, any notes that you want to store on them, documents. So if you've got work contracts, you can store that with them. their working hours. So here you can set their working hours, see any timesheets they've submitted, what rates they pay, well you pay them, and their leave, etc. So you've got all of everything that you need to manage them. And then here you've got emails and action logs. So if you're doing your reviews, you're going to send official emails through here, and again you can store all your action logs here. Then inside of this section you've also got your clients. So in here you've got your different clients. You can manage your clients in here. So again, you've got multiple different things of what jobs, what files, notes, addresses, numbers, if they've got child companies or anything like that. And then again, you've got your attributes. So if you've got any specific work contracts, or you've got time that you want to get back in touch with the client, you can add that here as an attribute. When you last completed, or so today's date, what's the interval, and how long before you want that reminder. So within this you can see all the different information. And then when you edit the clients as well, sorry I forgot, you've got any extra fields. So these will pull through from the leads, but if there's anything extra that you want to store for them, you can do. And again, the tags, you've got if they're a bad payer or something like that, anything you want to store, you can keep that and track that through the system. Then here you've got your chat system. So here you've got your internal chats. You can speak to your different colleagues. As you message them, they will come up into this chat, and then you can create your different group chats. So if you've got a design chat, if you've got a chat for a specific job, you can create all of those kind of things on the system. And then you've got your analytics. So inside the analytics, you've got all kinds of data around the business, especially around your invoicing, what's been invoiced this month, what's waiting, what's been invoiced but hasn't been paid, etc, etc. So you can see all the different data. So it's a very big system, and it does a lot, but exactly what your business needs to go through. So if this is something that you'd like to discuss, or see exactly how this would work within your business and how it would be tailored to how your business is actually functioning, then please just get in touch with us. We can book a demo, go through everything with you, or start with just having a conversation. So the link will be in the description if you want to get in touch with us, and then we can go from there.